Welcome back to Timberborn and our Oasis experimental playthrough, BeaverBrook IV. So in the last one, I've also just noticed that I've actually run out of metal, so I haven't got any metal here either. So this is going to be, because I can't do any more, and remember we need more. More is definitely going to be more. I haven't got the dirty mine. Well, the dirty mine is quite an expensive thing to build. But I think we'll go for this first. I don't think we've got any more mining. Well, I have. That's not exactly true. We've got this here, but the trouble is that would... it's got to empty. I've got to empty that. I'd have to put a wall around here and then let it get rid of all that. So I think this is the prime. I've just noticed we've got to mine further down somewhere else as well. So that's not a problem there. It's going to cost a hell of a lot to get this back, though. I'm in the principle that I might as well do a zip line here. Primarily because it's just going to cost a fortune. It's going to cost a fortune in the time it's going to take to get there. Bear in mind we need to be here. I don't think it can do. How far can I stretch this? It's gonna be a strange way to get this over when we get the zip lines going, because it's gonna cost me an absolute fortune to get a path going. Even no matter which way I go, it's so expensive to get there. Actually, I think it'd probably be less of a trauma to go this way, as we can see here, than going any other way, because of all the mountain terrain and everything else that's in with that. And I could easily connect the pylons to this, and then they just have to walk in there and then do it and then walk back again. I think that's now connected. This will now be connected to that. How far can I stretch this? About there. I think that was alright. It doesn't particularly make any difference where it is, because I'm just going to go to this one, as I'm not really using that one anyway. Add that to there. That'll do. It goes up and down like a yo-yo, but it doesn't. The only disadvantage is you have to build the path to actually be able to get over there in the first place. To actually build the... I know, it's always counterintuitive. How far? There. And there and there. No, that's a completely wrong place, pig. Well done. I thought there was something wrong with that, and I looked at it, I thought that doesn't look right in line. There. So that's... Then that needs to come down, I think, by one. Rotate that. Then one again. Yeah, it's sort of really weird, but it's you know, it's just the way you can. It's the only way you can do. That will then allow me to be in here, and obviously the zip line will allow that to carry that off way faster than the arduous task of walking. Now I know it gets really funny when they're really that close, so I'll put say 2, 3 or whatever there, just in case, because that'll cover all of that. That's fine. That needs to have a path because it wouldn't do that. That's enormous path there. We're gonna need metal. So we got the metal. We got the. It's gonna. I'm not worried about the gears. That's. Oh, that can be made with that. Interesting. We got a thingy there. Excuse me. If I needed more power, I could always send it into there, couldn't I? Well, in fact, I could use that power instead of doing this monstrosity of a build. But not to worry. It's here to... I think... I don't know, but I might be wrong. I actually think that this is not going to work. Yes, it's not going to work. Because... Well, I suppose in some respects that doesn't matter. Oh yes, it does matter. I'm going to need to get rid of this as well. Well, I'm going to need to get rid of that one. That one's the one that I really need to get rid of. And I need to plug its hole by doing that. That now is a sealed unit. That could be doing... We could... No, I've just taken off the power of that, but it doesn't really fully matter. That now could be built. Because they can walk over there. Fluid. It's the fluid thing, isn't it? Mechanical fluid dump. Rotate. Pause that one. That we can get the principle of this working straight away. Then we can do our tunnel, or start the tunnel, which will be there. That would then go right to this. I think, as long as it's the same height, they'll run into each other, but they'll fill each other up. Well, no, because it won't. It'll stop. Right, let's just do that. Let's do that. Oh, bad water. Don't get one of them very often on here. There. So that now is gonna go straight from here, and because I've got two, I reckon that would come quite well. They can definitely do this. Come on, boys. No, they can't, because they can't get in there now, can they? Oh, yes, they can. If I take this off, they can get, yeah, they can walk around here. I actually think I can get rid of that as well. Now, which I don't need. So we're taking this water. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. Yes, well, yes, it is true. We're taking this water, and then we're gonna dump. We're gonna dump it in, obviously, this the channel that I've just made. And I think I might have even made that channel a bit too deep, to be honest. Yes, I've made the channel a bit too deep. So I'm going to take this off because it needs to be a 1, not a not that deep. But that's fine. I'm just waiting for them to. Oh, they're asleep. They blasted this. That was quick. That was quick. Yeah, I'll get them to build that, and they can build it from both ways because that is quite a long. That's quite a long stretch of So they've got a choice to go from there or from there. Right, I've got this back working again. So now this is repumping. I mean, I can redirect that to, I could redirect it to go in there and then it wouldn't be contaminating this section. But I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. How are we doing with our nightmare of here? I've got 4,000 left. I want that done as well. Oh, it probably can't do it because I can't get in. So there's the walkway. Obviously, last time I blasted this down. So we can... I'm still unsure about this. Well, obviously this contamination barrier here. Now, I really want these to be connected. But that means I'm going to have to do something over the top. Well, there's no reason why I couldn't. If I can't get around that way and I want to get rid of this, I'll go around this way. Because it doesn't really make much of a difference, does it? That then would be this, just this straight here. Let's do that while we're on it here. So we know where we're going. This would be here and here. And then this would be here. What I could do is then just take that to there and then do a turn for that. And then they'll be able to use this when I got rid of this. Oh, that's not correct because it's going even further out. You idiot. Let's get rid of that. Forgot about that. It's going even further out, isn't it? It's coming out to here. This section here, not that section there. It's coming out to here. because then that would make sense, because then I would be taking down all of this. I don't want to... What I don't want to do is... no, that's not what I want to do. Is get rid of this, because this is powering this, which is obviously powering... I don't think it... Well, it wouldn't take long to rebuild again, but... How are we doing? Yeah, that's going to have to come out. That's going to have to connect in. I'll do that one there, because then it'll allow it to build all this. Again, we're going to have problems. I know, I've got planks, I can see them. Obviously, I've got quite a few planks in this last plate. Now, don't forget, in the last one, I started this here. I just realised. What did I just realise? I'd forgotten to sort this out here. This is a good job I just pressed pause. There. Right, that's now going to come up. Just as that contamination barrier, just as that started to go in. We have got 0 contamination as well, actually. So that might be okay. Because obviously I know when there's a contamination because I've got that. So I sort of caught it just at the right time. We got 7 days, that's fine. I'm taking nothing out of here. And I've still got this up anyway, so I'm not taking anything out of there. Oh, they can't get down there. That's a bit of a switch. I took that one out, didn't I? They should be able to build all that, and then we'll get these two together. Once I've got that, once I've got these two connected, I can. I only need this now, this section here, to be done. Too far to reach. It's not too far to reach. Why is it too far to reach? What have we not got connected? Yeah, I only need them, and then that's it. Then all I've got to do is basically get rid of this, put this in. I'll have to put this one in. They can get to this one. Once I've got this running, then I can take out all of this. And I think the contamination would actually work. Because it's got a full block. I think that's why it's leaking around. Because this two here are not connected. Come on, guys. Come on. Get me that done. Yes, I can start building this, I think. I have to be careful of that metal. And move this over. I've already moved that one over. I need to build some more here. I can take that out because it's not actually even in use. It's going to be in use, but it's not actually in use yet. As long as I do that, I think I can get them to walk down there. Like so. And then that won't be moving over. And then we've got our centre now, which is this. That's okay, that's okay. That's now reconnected, which means in principle I could do this one as well. Get that built. Add that back into here. So that's another one. Once that, then I can get rid of that. It's just getting rid of, as moving, get rid of that, move that. That's, all this is fine. All this is just about fine. We are getting there. It's taking time. Maple. 100%. This should actually get the maple. Now, the problem being is where the hell am I going to store it? I have a strange feeling that this might be the best place. Now, this needs to definitely have two, which is obviously it's going to be bank gears, but I'm going to have the storage for resin. Always weird why resin's in a box, because it's a liquid and not a, you know, it's a running form and not a tank, if you like. How much power is that? See, we're already on 700 already. How much do I need? I need all this running, so... Right, we got the... That now can go, like so. That can go back in to be added to there. That can pick up this. That's all it's about, just moving all these things over. That's... almost been built. There's another section here to be built. I think. Is there? No, that's wrong. What got me was this. That now would need another to get into there. Obviously, we're not using that as of yet, but it looks a massive monstrosity, and I think it probably is. But I mean, yeah, the earth extra of it would have been better served here. But I think it's, you know, we'll see. If I don't like it, then I don't like it, and I'll move it where I just said I was going to do. I still want this lot over here, somehow, because it makes sense because of the power from here. But I haven't decided that as of yet. Now, how are we doing with our... We've now got this running. I need to have that in. But then I need to have... that in. Now I understand that I could probably increase this here to get more water in there. If I need to do it, then I'll do it, but I'm not going out to do it. It's not like a major thing that I've got to do. You can pick up this That's where you're coming from this side, so you can do that as well. Like there. There and there. That's not bad. At least we're going to get this running a bit more faster than it would normally. I don't know whether to put a levee on the end of there, which will allow the water to only flow well, in a sense, one way. We can see that this obviously is going the other way. Which will then flow back into here because they are at relatively the same level. But obviously it'll only go to here. This is why I was thinking that maybe it doesn't really make too much of a difference when that goes down. The reason why I'm doing that, and I need to push this on. I need to have some more water in here. Make sure they're full. Is the water level. Obviously, as I drain this will go off. This will go off. These won't be, because they get too low, which they are going to get in a minute, you know, because I'm taking water out of here to obviously be drinking, and I've got 10,000. I need to take out the 5,000. I might even just say, stop it, let's just take it out. Just drain this. This is going to stop, because there won't be enough water in there to be able to run it. That's why I'm getting this running, or I will be getting it running. I'm still contemplating on blasting this out, to be honest. If I blast, I don't even think if I blast that out there, what would happen? No, I can't blast that. I mean, I don't have to have it there. I could have it a bit further down. I haven't built it yet. Well, let's leave it. Let's leave it now. I've got this running. I probably should have built it a bit further down here. But in fact, I could have built it really. I could have actually. Thinking about it, I could have actually had it in the. Yeah, I'm now disgusted with myself because I could have had it in the wall, which I'm sure I had the idea of having it in the wall. I think that's what I put this off for. You know, I can't see. This is the thing. I can't remember. It's been a little while in a sense for trying to. I sorted it out, forgot about it, and then thinking, what was I doing with it? Because if I bury that in that wall, see that now. Can have one, it'll explode that up. Can they get to that? No, it's too far. might be able to do that. Bury it in this wall. I'll have to have the power come backwards to here, and that way you won't even see it, because then I could just put the thing back again. Hey, that's a bit better. I'm a bit more happy with that than just making it a flipping eyesore. Right, that can then be extended. That can be extended. We can pick this up. There's not that many. I mean, there's only about 10 or so. Obviously, now this... well, it's still running, barely. Obviously, it doesn't need... It just needs this bit of water here. I suppose it would do. It's the bottom of the thing, not the top. And once this goes under... Now, obviously, I've got 6,000. I'm going to drain the hell out of this to get to the 10. As you can see, this is starting because it's getting less and less. And we're obviously right the way down. And obviously I've got no water coming in anyway. So there's that. How have we done with our problem here? Absolutely none of it. I'm out of the planks again. That wouldn't surprise me. But I think I'm done. Well, I'm done with that anyway. Let's put that to full. Let's take out this little section. Let's take out... I think I can do it without messing about. No, maybe I can't. Whoops. Can I do it without... Yes. Can I just select that and... Yeah, I can. Awesome. Awesome. Obviously, this question mark is the contamination, if I do have contamination. Now, I'm gonna have to stop this, aren't I? Because if I don't stop it, this will be full. I don't know, it's not full, it's absolutely... I want to know how much contamination I've got in this well before I open it up. I've got 62%, there you see. So 62% of contamination. When I put the bad water on, there's no point me putting the bad water on until this stops. This will go down to 0, and then I'll know that I can open this side of the valve. We've now got... Yeah, oh, I don't even... Oh, that's even cooler. Would that be centre? Am I going to be happy with that? Am I going to pause that? Absolutely. 2 this way, 2 this way, 1 this way, 1 this way. Centre is the centre of the universe. That is brilliantos. Now, we could have some other stuff in here as well, bearing in mind that that is allowed me to do that. I think that'll look awesome because they can go into there. Now I know we'll go boom eventually, but bearing in mind It's going to take an enormous amount of time. We got 1,500, and I've got no treated planks whatsoever. My treated planks have disappeared into the ether. We now have, which I can turn on. I am willing to turn these on, but the trouble is this is going to be painfully slow because we're only going to get 33% of our. But once I've got enough going, I think we should be fine. This can keep going now. I'm determined to get this. I'm actually determined to get this build actually. After all that work that I did in all them episodes, and I'm not. It's all gone. It's all out of water again. Because I have to sort everything in. But not to worry. We'll get it. We'll get this working. I still think I can. Here we go. There we go. That's gonna work. I filled that in now. This is absolutely terrible. Is that too far from the district? Why is that actually too far? Oh, because I still haven't put that on. There we go. That would have been a better idea, wouldn't it? I think that's deep enough. Well, it's certainly deep enough to... But I'm going to have to make this deeper, which just means I'm going to have to push this trench down. I still think I'm going to have another one of these to be able to get it up there. I even have another idea, actually. Which might even work even better. Actually, that might actually work. In fact, that actually would be a tremendous idea. But how the hell would I get it up that far? That's the issue. Well, yeah. The idea would be to go under here. Now, bear in mind, I can go. I know I'm filling this in, and I've got to sort of do something anyway. I've just got that to fill in. Right, there we go. And get that in. Would actually be to... I suppose it doesn't matter there, but it might be a... Yeah. It was thought out, but I didn't plan for having... I know next time. You know what they say? Hindsight is a damn good thing. It always helps when you're into hindsight. But there's other things we can have on AEC, which would make it quite nice. Like... I don't want the medical there. Decoration. I mean, we can have these, but I don't think that... Well, I suppose... might actually make it quite thing. I'm not going to have the hammock, but I could have the hedges around. And you've got the wood, you've got the rotator here. You've got a nice, like, sort of summit there. So if I said I was going to do this, I'm not going to do it. Well, I'm not going to build them yet, but because I take the metal. But that's a principle that works quite nicely. You know, it's building up the thing here. Could we have something in that center that would make it a bit different? I don't particularly want a beaver thing because that looks terrible. Now I could have this here, and then let's say I have hedges, which isn't the worst, and that takes logs, and I haven't got any flipping logs. Now they're just trying to build that. Like that. Then, if we took the principle of having another set down here, rotate that. Remember, but actually, maybe that isn't one of them. Maybe where's that shrub? See, that might be better. Like this. Yeah, I quite like that better. I'm trying to use the shrub as an end. You know? Yeah. I'm not saying that we're on our final push, because we're not really, but we're on the... like I said, this thing's going to take an absolute zenith to build. So it's not as if I'm doing it far too late. Like... if you haven't seen it, if you see the waterfalls one that I did, where I didn't know that you need a lot more. Let's put it this way: you need a lot more stuff to. It would be nice to see. They don't have flowers in this thing. That's another thing they don't have, but that's not too bad. Actually, we're running out of water here. I'll get that pumping, and we'll see this go down. It's down to 45%, but as this gets, once this is 0, then we should be okay. I'm running out of water, so I'm going to have to be very careful, because I was supposed to have done that ages ago, and I was too busy messing about here. Messing about. There's a hole. There'll be a hole there, dear Liza. But I think one idea, rotate, does work. It doesn't matter because I've been going down there anyway, so I'll have to work something out. I've just thought that if I take this as the center, I blast down here as a separate channel, like this, and move this over. Underneath, in other words, I'm going to hold a massive amount. It's a bit like a tank. I know that sounds a bit weird. But then what I'll do is, I'll have one that's filling that up, and 2 of these that are filling these up, one on each side. Then I can have 2 or more filling the top tank up. It's stupid, but it'll work. Is that the one I filled up? No, that's not the one I filled up. I want down here and then down here, and then they'll obviously fill that. They'll be able to fill them in because they can't fill them in. You see, you can't get to them. I could do a ladder there, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so this is basically the. You know, whether I know I'm gonna have to redesign on it. This is empty now. It doesn't really matter. But I know that it's like, well, what was the point? You could just leave it. But, you know, let's not have it like that. Let's, I've got 9,000, and I'm still pumping this. And we getting through this. In fact, actually, this is actually flowing in. It's doing what it needs to do. Well, no, it's flowing the other way. Have we got this open? I bet this is open now. I'm going to blow that up. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That. No, I don't want to get rid of that. I might have to get rid of this to here. It is flowing in there. I think it's basically what it's done is it evened itself out. Or do I need to bother with the bloody thing? I might not even need to bother with it, you know. It is the same height, and that will pump that water right now. I might, do you know something? I might not even bother. I've spent all that time doing it and thinking, I don't really need to do that. Probably not. The reason why is because this gives an endless supply of water, doesn't it? Well, that wasn't the best idea I've ever had, but won't be the last. I'll get rid of this then. I'll cancel the idea of that. I thought it was good. Well, it did not. Well, it would work. It's not as if it wouldn't work. But could we argue the point? Why bother making it more difficult than it has to actually be? Which is a principle a pig usually does. Because that's the same level as it, it's going to flow into there, so it's going to keep this full. That ultimately, that was the idea that I was trying to actually achieve, to make it full. So, in some respects, it's done it. Well, in all respects, it's done it, actually. I think we're going to have that there, pause this one. I'll do the hedge on here and here, and I'll pause them as well until we get enough of everything, which I've got. I just don't have the logs to do, but I think that would look quite nice. And then we'll concentrate on this. Whoops. Here we go. I've done it again, haven't I? I was too busy. Should have, like, no contamination now. That's what I was trying to achieve and completely forgot about the this. Right, open this up. I know they're gonna. I've got food. I'm not really worried. I'm annoyed because this takes another 10 days to redo. These are not gonna worry. And obviously the logs are perfectly fine. It's just the wheat that's the problem. How are we doing with this situation here? We are, well, not that much further on, to be honest. I need to push this on. That's the reason why. There's no, they can't get up there. And then we'll get this. And I've got the mine here, or I've got the mine here. Now, if we did the mine, any mine, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's 4,000 and it doesn't really cost a lot. Well, it costs a lot, but I've got 80,000 in science points, so I don't really have to worry too much. Now, there is the question I could do the observatory and get rid of all of them if we take the science here, now I haven't actually ever got this. This big, is that the big observatory? Yeah, that's the big observatory. We got the primary, we got the bot parts. I've never done the bot in this as well, so that's something I would be quite willing to do. Plank's fine, things fine, resin as well. Does that mean it needs resin to keep running? But it's like, where do we put it? Now, we got our centerpiece here of excellence. But I'm thinking, you want the observatory at the highest point of the map. Yeah, good luck. Oh, I've got some metal there. I didn't notice that metal. And I've got some metal over there as well. I didn't even notice. So I've got, it looks like I have got options of more metal. Got 2 here before I have to go into the dirty mine. So that's okay. And obviously I could do something with this. Wall this around and get that water to go down. I was umming and ahhing pulling it out before I did this big reservoir, but right. So we got our 10,000. Why don't I send these down to 1? It should be enough to just pump this and just keep this topped up to 10,000. And this is obviously going like Billio. I'm quite happy with that. All that effort that I was doing here was just wasted. But 2, 3. Yeah, that's a 3. Get rid of that. But not to worry. Not to worry. I just need to clean up this where it was. I'm not gonna. Well, I could put that back where it needs to be. I need to blow that up. In fact, let's blow that up. That's now through, so I don't need to get this. Oh no, that's probably the wrong, because it's not cleaned up everything here. Probably it's probably still. Is there? Yes. Well, I could get them from the other way. Let's delete that and go there, and then get them, because that's planks. We could do with some planks. Well, or 500 in planks. Got no flipping logs, but still. I've got no logs. That means what we should do is turn off these, and then let's build the logs back up. I've got 23% on there. Water is back running again. Jolly, jolly good. I bet you this is all. Yes, and I also done a cardinal sin and forgot to put any place to be able to cut the silly things down. So that was not a good idea, but at the time I was not thinking too straight with things. I'll do one there and I'll do one here. Get them to take this out. Then I can put cutters in there. That'll get me logs going, because they'll absolutely obliterate that. That's good. The next port of call is what we're doing here, which I haven't finished. It's just trouble in this game. You tend to do all these things and then forget to finish them all. I'll put the path there. And then I'll get rid of this path. Putting the power this way, up to there. They can do that. I suppose in a sense it wouldn't take me long to just fiddle with that and get that back in anyway. No, that's not what I wanted to do. No, that's not what I wanted to do either. I'm now gonna ditch this. Yeah, and then I'm gonna try. I always get this wrong. It's landscaping. Contamination barrier. That's a thing that I cut out, so I think it needs to be here. Oh no, that's connected to there, so actually I need... Because that's now not running. Now that's running. I don't know whether this is actually going to work. I've got the same problem here. I can't put the contamination barrier. I can jump over the contamination barrier. So that might be the only way to get the power going from here and have a big... If this doesn't work. But I think it's... Well, it'll work. Well, it'll work however it wants to work, innit? Right, so just get this in and see how that works. We get into a mine. The mine is... Well, we get into this. Obviously, I've got this built now. Did I not connect to that? Yes, I did connect. So once this gets to here, they'll start to use the zip line, because that would make sense. I'm quite happy with that. I might have to manually do this, but it's no contamination. Everything is perfectly fine. Right then, let's get back to our concern here. This has now been done, so I could sort out something for this. Like I said, this is the back wall. I am acutely aware of how much. Well, I think I'll be okay there. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6 would be this line here, I think. Yes, I think that's the 6. I've just taken that down because it's in the flipping bit. That's the back wall. Well, fortunately, that's going to work because that would be the back wall. This is obviously This is obviously bad water. I'm thinking there, yes, that would work as well. There's something that I didn't think of that I just thought of. I wanted to go through it, but I can't go through it now because we're right. Basically, I could do a tube. If I push this further down... No, that's not going to work because I can't... I don't think I can push anything. I'd have to... Yeah, well, I think it would work, but I'd have to do it a different way. But anyway, bad water approaching. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We will see you in the next one where we figure out all of this. Just different ideas. I'm trying to, because obviously I might have to use that in another map or find a different way. Now that's obviously now working pretty well, and obviously I'm going to clean all this up and get all this done for next one, back to where it was before, and open this up, and this channel won't be this full, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But anyway, I hope you enjoy that. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.